What if I told you that the thing that you're chasing, the big win, the perfect betting system, that one game that'll literally change everything, isn't really what you're looking for? You think it's about hitting that one perfect parlay, doubling your bankroll overnight, or finally getting that can't lose strategy dialed in. But guess what? That's just a drop in the bucket compared to what you actually need to be able to succeed. Now, I've spent years figuring this out, going through the highs and the lows, learning what actually works, and I want to share with you guys the perspective from my point of view. Because if you don't get this, you'll keep running in circles. You're going to chase the wrong thing, and you're never going to find real success in betting or in life, for example. Now, if I could go back and tell my younger self one thing, it wouldn't be to bet bigger, make bigger wagers, or to take more risks. It'd be this: time is your most valuable asset. You can't rewind a single second. You won't get another shot at the money that you lost betting on your impulse bets or anything like that, or the hours wasted chasing bad picks. Every second counts. So why are you spending it the wrong way? That's what I would ask myself. Because most sports bettors waste time chasing the next win instead of mastering a process that actually works. Now they jump from tip to tip, guru to guru, hot streak to cold streak, but they never commit to a system that could win long term. They always fall off the wagon and can never commit and stay consistent. And just like in life, if you're spending your time listening to the wrong people, following the wrong strategies, surrounded by the wrong people, or betting for the wrong reasons, you're setting yourself up for failure before you've even placed a wager. Now, I've been through it all. Trust me, all of it. I've had streaks where I felt unstoppable and losing streaks that made me question if I even knew what I was doing or if I was ever going to be able to figure this out. Now, I've tested different systems, strategies, bankroll management techniques, but it wasn't until I stopped chasing this one thing, which is the quick fix, and focused on the long-term edge, that things actually changed. You see, most sports bettors aren't looking for wins. They're looking for control. They want to feel like they have power over the outcome, like they cracked some code for sports betting. But the real key isn't some secret formula. It's discipline, patience, and knowing where to find your edge. At the end of the day, the real question isn't how much money can I make betting. It's why am I doing this in the first place. For me, it's about building something sustainable, having a strategy that lets me win consistently, not just occasionally. Being able to make decisions based on logic, not emotions, and most importantly, helping others as well. Now, I learned something very powerful a long time ago, okay? If you have problems, you have to help other people solve their problems. It's that simple. That's why I teach this stuff. When I started focusing on helping others win instead of just chasing my own wins, everything for me personally completely changed. Because when you help other people, that's what you get in return. And it feels good as well when you help others and teach others how to do this the right way. So let me sum some of this up for you. You need to be able to bet with discipline. You need to treat your bankroll like an investment, not a lottery ticket. You need to be able to respect your time. Stop wasting it on bad advice and systems that don't work. Also, find purpose in your bets. If you don't know why you're betting, you'll never bet the right way. So understand that the most important thing is to love the process, not just the outcome of what happens. Because the process is what is going to build you as a sports bettor and as a person. So let's jump over to the whiteboard because I want to go through some stuff to show you guys some examples of what it's like to do this long term and compare it to something else that a lot of people invest in as well, but don't really understand how it's kind of the same thing and the different mentalities between the two people investing as well. So let's jump over to the whiteboard and I'm going to show you guys that stuff. So let's talk about a common investment that people make just in their adult lives, okay? One is the stock market. All right, one's the stock market. Now, let's compare both here. Let's compare the stock market and let's compare sports betting. off the top of the head, when people look at this, your average person, when they look at this, what do they see here? This is what they see. That this is safe, and this is a gamble. Right? Anybody that you talk to and you talk about these two things, this is what they look at. Stock market, they think, oh, that's safe. That's where you're gonna put your money. That's where you're gonna gain your money, and you're gonna make money no matter what, right? You tell them sports betting, they think you're a gambler. They think you're a degenerate. They're like, oh, you just like to gamble. That's what that is. Well, let's take a look at these two and kind of compare, okay? Because first off, when you look at what you're doing here, both of these you're investing money, right? Both of these you invest money. Both of them you're investing money. Both of them you need a strategy, right? You can't just throw your money in the stock market and think, oh, well, hopefully I'm going to make money. Can't do that, right? You need a strategy. Here, you need a strategy. What's the third thing you need on both of these? You need money, right? If you don't have money, you're not going to make any money. So what do we need? We need money. So now, taking a look at the three basic things that you need here, guess what? They're both the same. All right? They're both the same right now. All right? So, what do you need? You need the right mindset to understand that you're investing money. You need the strategy, and then you need the money. All right? So, let's talk about now really why people think this is a gamble versus this is a safe bet. Okay? Is because on the annual market, for the stock market, it's produced anywhere between plus 10 to 12% annually. Okay? That's what they expect to get in a good economy and everything's going correct. And this is based off of not doing like individual stocks, obviously, and trying to day trade and stuff like that. That's not what that is based off of. That's based off of putting your money in one slot and letting it sit there. And that's what you hope you get. Okay? Sports betting. What could you get out of sports betting here when it comes to yearly? Well, there's two ways they could go here. You could go negative 100% and you lose everything because you have no idea what you're doing. Okay? Or you could make anywhere between 50 to 100% over the year. If you know what you're doing. Okay? If you know. We're still in the same realm here. Okay, we're still in the same realm of it's still the same thing. People don't realize that. The type of person, though, is way different. This is where it becomes way different, okay? The type of person. The type of person that's in the stock market understands that if they have $20,000 invested, that they're only going to make over the whole entire year, maybe what, $2,000? They'll make maybe $2,000. Okay? They'll end their year with $22,000. And they're happy because they didn't really do much, right? This person here has $1,000 and is expecting to make $10,000, which is not going to happen. That's the difference between the mentality of the person here when it comes to investing in the stock market and sports betting. They are very similar when it comes to other aspects. They are very similar. Yes, you can get bigger gains here, but there's 100% more risk if you don't know what you're doing. You can lose everything. Here, there's a minimum risk because you don't really need to know what you're doing. You still need to have somewhat sort of a strategy, and that's where people go to advisors. And advisors are what? People that pretty much in the sports betting industry that are trying to teach you how to bet on sports. Those are your advisors. Well, in the stock market, your advisor is what tells you where to put your money at. So you make a certain amount of money. It's the same exact stuff, okay? Long term, obviously, if you know what you're doing in sports betting and you have the right strategies, you could produce better gains. You definitely can. It's 100% possible. I personally have beat this mark every single year that I've did sports betting. And now it's going on 10 plus years. I beat this mark because that's only 10 to 12 units over the whole entire year. and I've been able to beat that mark. So again, if you guys want to learn how to do this stuff and you want me to teach you personally how to do this, make sure you guys click the link in the description, okay? Because I show you exactly how to come up with all the stuff in sports betting that you need and all the tools to be able to be successful to make this, the gamble that they think, turn it into a safe bet, okay? That everybody looks at. So back to what I was saying here is the type of person. That's really what separates these two. The type of person, this person right here is the gambler, okay? They have $1,000, they want to make $10,000. That's like having this person say they got 20,000 and they're expecting to get 200 grand by the end of the year, and if they don't, they're upset. That's not going to happen. That's why this person right here is always successful, and this one ends up going broke. It ends up with nothing. That's the difference right there, okay? The difference is because the mentality, it's just straight up mentality. That's all it is, mentality. Somebody that's broke, that has no money, they think they're going to make a lot of money by gambling it away. When people that have money invest in the stock market, they understand they're just trying to make little bits of money here and there, and it compounds over time. Because now look, this 22,000 goes into the next year, and then that next year compounds into the next year and goes like that. You have to take this strategy and bring it down here. That is how you're successful. Understanding that if this is my bankroll, 20 grand in sports betting, and I make $2,000, I make $5,000, that's good enough for me. That's what you have to understand. That is long-term mindset. This mindset here, the gambler's mindset, is always a recipe for zero. Always. It's 100% always a recipe for zero. Okay? Because you will always think that you can make more, that it's not good enough. Why? Because it's small account mentality. That's what I like to call it. It's small account mentality. When you have a small amount of money, you want to make a bunch of money, because that is a broke mindset. The broke mindset is, I don't have any money, I want to make a bunch of money. The person that has money doesn't think that way. They don't think, I have money, I need to make a bunch of money real quick. They don't think that. They think, I have money, I want to put it in something that's safe, that's going to gain some money over time. So the more money you have, the better your mindset needs to be as well. Because this person can also be down here where they have 20 grand but not the right mindset, and they think they can make 200 grand off 20,000, and what do? They end up here with zero, and they lose everything. Okay? So understand that the stock market and sports betting, even though people think they are drastically different, and people will argue with you hours upon hours on why this is gambling and this is not gambling, they are similar. They are very, very similar. You need to invest money, you need to have the money, and you need to have a strategy. And it's just the difference comes down to the mentality of the person that does the separate ones. Okay? In here, people think they're in control. You're not in control of the stock market. You're not. And most people that invest into the stock market have no clue what they're investing in. That's why they use the advisors. Sports betting, you are not in control. As much as people want to think they're in control and they know what's going to happen, they don't. They have no idea what's going to happen. They're not in control. It's the same thing as the stock market, okay? You guys are not in control of what the outcomes are going to be. The best thing you could do is set yourself up with the best percentages of what the possible outcome could be. That's what the difference is between sports betting and stock market as well. You can find here in sports betting the probability of certain numbers happening over the long term. Stock market, you really can't. You could if you go back and look at tickers and graphs and stuff like that, but very hard to come out to an exact probability of what the outcome of what the stock market price is going to be and what a certain stock is going to be in the future. Very hard to do that. And then time-wise, this right here doesn't take as much time as people think. Obviously, people like stock markets, they can just throw their money in there and just leave it, and they don't have to do any work. That's the same thing here. If you have the right strategy, you don't have to really do too much work either. It should take you an hour to 2 hours on a daily basis to be able to find stuff that's going to give you this type of return. And like I said, on the upside, In the stock market, this is what you're making. In the upside sports betting, this is what you're making. I've done both. I know exactly the difference between both and the amount of money that you can make doing both. Now, people want to argue with you, and they want to always say, sports betting, it's gambling. You're never going to make money. You're never going to do it long term. I've been told that my whole life. But guess what? I keep doing it, and I keep showing everybody. So it's inevitable, okay? It's inevitable. When you know exactly what to do, you can actually make money. Same thing with the stock market. If you know what you can do, if you know what to do, you're going to make money as well. But you ain't going to make the same returns. It's just not going to happen, okay? Not going to happen. Yes, of course, being this person here, you could lose everything in sports betting. But again, that comes down to mentality. It doesn't come down to anything else. It comes down to mentality and having the right strategy that gives you the edge. In the stock market, there's not too much of a crazy edge that you're going to find that's going to produce you 50%, 100% gains on a year. It's just not going to happen because it's slow money. You make money, but it's slow money. But it's the same thing here in sports betting. When you're doing it the correct way, it's still slow money because you're not doubling your bankroll in one night. So many people have the mindset thinking that they're going to take $1,000 and make $2,000 in one day or 2 days. That is gambling. That's what gambling is. Gambling is taking your money and thinking you're going to get that quick come up and get that quick double up. That's gambling. Investing is, I'm going to take $10,000 and I'm just looking to make a couple grand over the next month or to the whole entire year. That's investing. Two different mindsets. So when you're able to understand this is how sports betting works and you look at sports betting instead of being a gamble and you look at it as an investment, that's when your sports betting life is going to change. Okay? Too many people think they're going to come on board with me and I am Nostradamus and I'm going to tell you every single outcome of what happens and you're magically going to take $1,000 and make $10,000. Not going to happen. Okay? I can teach you exactly how to set yourself up long term to make money, but I'm not going to be a magician and be able to take your $1,000 and make 10 grand in 2 days, in 3 days. It's not going to happen because that's not what this is. This isn't that's not realistic. All right. This is what realistic looks like. What I'm showing you here. So if you have the investment mindset and you're ready to take this to the next level, and you want to be a part of that sports betting crew, that 1%, that's what it is. It's the 1% that actually makes money. Like I said, hit the link in the description so that way I can teach you exactly how to be successful and how to do this long term.